I was off to get some milk and I see this guy. He's got fuzzy hair, really, really fuzzy. And he's wearing dark glasses. And I'm thinking, interesting character. So I approached him, started speaking to him, and he's looking at me all funky. And I'm like thinking, what's with the look? Anyway, I said to him, bro, what do you do? Got talking and found out he's an artist. Then, when we get back to the studio to do the recording, he takes his glasses off, and I realized we've already had him on the show, and I just didn't recognize him because of the dark glasses and the hair. So this guy came onto the channel, completely smashed the live set, and now we're here doing a sofa chat just off the cuff. Randomly approached him on the street, got him to come to the studio, and we're gonna do a sofa chat. Right, but before we begin, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell to receive the notifications, like, share, and get involved in the comment section below. And now, here he is, fuzzy hair man, talented MC, and a character, Spookasonic.
Hey.
Bro, how you doing, man?
Nice one, my brother.
You're good.
Come on, how'd you go in there? Didn't I, brother? How'd you go in?
You know what, like with me, it's a bit crazy. When I can have my best friend wearing dark glasses and I won't recognize him.
Yeah.
What are you doing in the area?
I'm just jamming, man. I had my birthday yesterday, so I was just out with my missus. We like to go for walks, so yeah, man, just out.
All right, so basically, let's start at the very beginning. So, you were born.
Of course.
You were a baby.
Yes.
How did that happen?
You know, yeah, mum and dad got together. Dad, Caribbean background, my dad's black, mum's white. And yeah, man, got together. I was born in London. I was born in Lewisham Hospital.
When you were born, was your hair like that?
It was, bro. I swear to God, I could show you pictures of my hair. Like, my hair was really, really long when I was young. Like, I don't know if it was actually at this level, but my hair was big, man. Like, when I was like young, like, there's a famous picture of me in my house. You know what I'm saying? That is, yeah, my shit was big, man. So yeah, man. But to be fair, like, my hair's always been short. Like, I kept my hair short, like, basically my whole life until like 2020. I started growing it. So yeah, like, this is like nearly 3 years of growth. Do you know them ones? Like, 3 years of knowledge, wisdom.
Samson power.
Yeah, like, the Black Samson is in the building. Like, trust me. Like, obviously, Black the Ripper, like, do you know what I'm saying? But what he said is like true. Like, that's why he grew his hair. Like, he knew that hair was strength. Do you know what I'm saying?
What was it like in your family? Was it a straightforward family? Did they encourage you in the music? Were you a wild child? You know, was it a broken family? What was it?
Yeah, man, a wild child, you know. Yeah, I was definitely a wild child. In the beginning, when I lived in London, from what I can remember, like, I was cool, I was calm, I was a calm child. You know what I'm saying? And then there was a lot of issues, like my dad was addicted to drugs and stuff, and then my mother moved down to like Ramsgate and Thanet. That was when I was about 5, and then from then I ended up getting really naughty. Do you know what I'm saying? Like really bad behaviour in school, fighting, a lot of sort of shit like that. And then I remember my old man coming back into the picture when I was about 7, 8 years old, something like that. And then he taught me how to play football. And then, answering to your question, like, I was encouraged by my dad. Like, me and my brother was both encouraged by my dad to play football, and we really excelled in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I ended up playing for Chelsea. My brother was playing there for a bit. Do you know what I mean? And then again, like, I was still a naughty kid, even though I was playing for Chelsea. I was 8 in school, and at home I was still a naughty child. And then yeah, it sort of got worse when I stopped playing for Chelsea at about the age of about 11, 12. Sort of when I started senior school, and that was when I was introduced to music. But if I'm being honest, I've never really been supported in music by my family, like, at all, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, my mum and dad, not at all. But with my football, my dad definitely, I've got to say, like, my dad did definitely show me how to play. You know, you teach yourself as you go on, but he was the one who got the ball rolling for me. But yeah, like, I'll be real, not a lot of support musically, you know?
So do you think that's because they had aspirations for you to be a footballer, and then when you chose a different path, they just kind of just neglected that?
Do you know what? It's a mad one, because I don't know if I could say I chose a different path, because when you're 11 years old, like, what choice can you make in a situation like that? You know, like, basically with the football thing, it's not like I chose to stop playing. Like, I loved it. I loved it. Like, but basically, you where I lived, I wasn't allowed to travel to London like 2 or 3 times a week. It was illegal to travel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Illegal?
Yeah, like it was actually illegal to make a child travel.
On their own, you mean?
Okay. No, not on their own. Like the travelling. So play the football,
really?
travel back. Yeah, it was like 3 hours there, 3 hours back, 3 hours there. Sometimes 6 hours there because you're playing in Hertfordshire and all this shit. So the child's doing his school all week, then he's travelling all weekend. It was sort of seen as like an illegal thing to do. So I had to move to London. I was the only child they wanted to keep. Big up Mike Wilkinson. I was the only child they wanted to keep from this region, the Kent region. And basically, my parents, I don't know what, they obviously didn't take it seriously enough and moved me to London, because if I would have moved to London, I would have had a different life. I would have been a professional footballer. Once I basically, stopped playing for Chelsea, Sunday League was just a bit, to me, like, it was just a bit of a step down. No offence to the man them that play Sunday League, do you know what I mean? But for me, it was just, it wasn't really satisfying because the level I was actually playing at. Mm-hmm. And, man, so that's why I stopped. So I don't think that they really had an aspiration for me to play football, because if I think they did have an aspiration for me to play, they would have followed it through and, sort of made me stay in London. Because like I said, when you're 11, 12 years old, what choice? That's a big boy decision to make. Move to London or not move to London. I thought that was up to my parents, because I've got a son, and if he was 11 years old and he was playing football and he was in Timbuktu, I would have moved to Timbuktu, because that's my 11-year-old son and he's that good. So I'll be real.
So then you moved to Ramsgate. Okay, so why Ramsgate?
I think my nan, God rest her soul, my nan lived in Minster with my granddad. And if you know, like, Thanet, it's quite close to Ramsgate. So Minster, now I'm older, was probably a bit too expensive for my mum to move into, do you know what I mean? So, And
this is as a single mother now?
This is as a single mother now. So, I think it was council house jobby, like, bam, you got to get there. And that's where we went. Because I think it was the closest place to my nan, which my nan done everything for us, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we would have survived if it wasn't for my nan and my granddad, like, helping my mum, do you know what I mean?
Did you have any problems in Ramsgate? Because, like, it's predominantly white area, or it was back then.
Yeah, it still is. It still is predominantly white. Don't get me wrong, there's a few more black people there now, but it is predominantly white. But yeah, man, like, ridiculous amount of problems. I mean,
anything that springs to mind?
Yeah, man, I've had my ass kicked for being black in Thanet. Like, wow. I remember when I was 17, 16, 17. Fucking when you're young, drinking, getting pissed up and that. Bag of my friends outside. At the time, it was the McDonald's. This is a famous story from my area, do you know what I mean? So I was sitting there, big name from my area, this big geezer. Obviously, he was about 30 at the time, so it's like double my age, you know what I mean? He's bowled up through the town and he saw me sitting on the chair. He's gone like, "You black fucking nignog," whatever. I don't know what he said.
Oh, wow.
Next thing I know, I got spun off the chair. Like, so I'm sitting on a bench, like, do you know what I mean? With on the top of a bench. So, with my feet on the actual bit where you're meant to sit. You know them ones? Yeah. So he's come up from behind me, pinged me off the ting. I've done a backflip off of the chair, but landed on my feet.
Spider-Man mode.
I swear to God, bro, I'm not going to lie. Everyone was like, "I don't know how the fuck you did that."
So why didn't...
Yeah. No, honestly, I wish I was at that point. I wish I did have webs and shit, because obviously, So anyway, I've been pinged off this chair, like, bang, like, literally landed back on my feet, like, fucked. Obviously pissed out my head. And then 2 of my mates have, tried to protect me, jumped in, attacked the geezer. I'm not going to say any names, it's a bit mad, like... I think I know the geezer's passed away now, so rest in peace. But he, we fucking beat him up a little bit, do you know what I mean? And then we had a little chase with him, and then he's like, we've lost him. We're thinking, fuck, where is this geezer? Then he's come out of the pub with about 5 hench geezers, and we're like, yo, sorry, and they were telling us who he was. They were coming out of the pub going, "Do you know who this is? This was telling us his name," and we were like, shit. Like, because we didn't know who he was. We just know, like, this geezer come up to me, racially attacked me, flipped me off a bench, you know what I mean? Like, that's all me and my pals knew. But yeah, when they all come out of the pub, they're like, "Yo, this is it." And we were like, "Yeah, all right, sweet. We were sorry, allow it." Anyways, chased me up the town, bang, 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 hit me about, I don't know. I remember dodging more punches than I received. So, like, I went boxing mode, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, survival mode sort of thing. So yeah, I remember waking up, my mum came in my room, she was like, what the fuck what happened to you? Like, and I was just like, look, don't worry, because I knew the geezer was like serious, especially when you're a kid, you look at people a bit more than they are, but at the time, like, yes, he was a name, and you wasn't meant to fuck with this geezer. And I remember, like, yeah, we couldn't go out for ages. We couldn't go down to town for months and months and months. It was mad. So yeah, man, yeah, that's just one crazy story, bruv. Like, and that was some racial shit. Like, that was because I was black. He was like, and there was loads of people there, and I was the only black guy, and everyone said, he went, you black nigga. Bow, do you know what I mean? Because I didn't know it was happening until I was flipped off a bench.
Do you think that's always the case, or do you think sometimes because you stand out, people kind of maybe feel threatened by your presence?
What 16-year-old boy is threatening? Like, I'm a skinny little kid.
Yeah, but it's not that, bro. Like, sometimes they just, like, fear you because you got something they haven't got.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter about material things. It's about who you are, what you stand for. Maybe you had a presence about you that scared them and they want to deal with that.
You know what, bro? And now I'm more in touch with energy and things like that. I agree. Like, maybe my aura was shining, do you know what I mean? Because I do know and I do believe that, you know, certain people's auras, when they're tapped in, their auras shine, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And I get it. I do get it wherever I go. Wherever I go, people are drawn to me, bro. They chat. They want to come and talk. They want to know.
Well, look at how we met just now.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Straight away. But I didn't look at it as a threat. I looked at it like, that guy looks interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Some people see energies different.
Also, the hidden agenda for me was when I saw you, I was like, okay, interesting character. But what was even better is that you're shorter than I am. So you're the only person that I know, apart from probably DK, who's been shorter than me in this thing.
Or maybe Harry Short.
So, yeah, but he hasn't been here yet, but I'll get him in.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, no, thanks, bro. Thanks for being shorter than me.
No worries, bro.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure. Come on, my lad. You know them ones.
Do you feel at any point that you were failed by your parents? Because obviously you come from the broken family, all that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Do you think certain choices were taken away from you?
Yeah, man. Like, come on. I love my mother, man, but I was failed because, and obviously my dad failed me as well. Definitely with the football thing. I've had a lot of trauma growing up. Do you know what I'm saying? So I have been failed a lot in the family. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here like you know, pulling the violin out and saying like, have sympathy for me. But yes, man was definitely failed. All through my life, like even up to an adult, do you know what I'm saying? I'm a big man, I've got my own family, do you know what I'm saying? But still, you know, we deal with these things. So yeah, I do think there's been a lot of failure on my parents' side for loads of different reasons. I wouldn't want to go into every situation, but there's been a lot of failure. But in a way, I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that because it makes me realise how to raise my son. These are the things what happened to me which made me think, fucking hell, that ain't right. And I'm like I said, I'm not here, it's not gunning my mum, it's not gunning my dad, I'm just telling the truth, I'm telling my truth. And it is, when you go through a madness or any trauma, it teaches you how to behave in real life.
It's funny, you know, like, because when you see broken families, the children quite often, not necessarily broken families, but people that go through shit, right? They create careers and futures for themselves in a way a child who's set up by the family probably wouldn't be able to handle.
Exactly, because they ain't got the drive, the hustle, the hunger. Do you know what I mean? The fire in the belly, bro. Like, when you have nothing, bruv, and you feel like
I mean, you've got a lot of hair, but...
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Don't moan at that, bro.
No, but when you know, like, when you, like, not to say, like, you know, my mum didn't feed me and that, of course she did, but, like, you know, like, when there's certain things you just want, bro, and no one can provide them for you, you have that like hustle, and I know you can adhere to that because you're like self-made, bruv, like, and that's where it comes from. It comes from, well, I ain't got no one to rely on, yeah, like, do you know what I mean? I've got to do this shit myself. No
man is an island, bro. Even Jesus had God and 12 disciples.
Yeah, exactly.
See these conversations that we're having about the failings and stuff. Have you ever had that conversation with your parents?
Yes, I have.
What was the result?
I had the conversation with my mother about maybe 5 years ago. It's 5-6 years ago. And it was a deep conversation, do you know what I mean? And we come on in leaps and bounds, do you know what I mean? And I thought we come on in leaps and bounds. But yeah, recently it sort of deteriorated again. But with my dad, There's been so much shit that's gone on, like, bro, like, you wouldn't believe. So I'm just, like, on a real, bro, I'll be fucking real. I don't actually value his opinion. Like, I feel the way I've been treated, he has no value for my opinion. So, you know, I'm just returning a favour, bro. It's cool, like, I have no hate for you. I'm letting you go with love. I've let him go with love a long time ago. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not up here hating. It's just like I have no value for you. No value, I don't value your opinion enough to even, you know, want to even give you this time to talk about this sort of subject, because it's a very deep subject. But my mother, on the other hand, I do value her opinion, and do you know what I mean? But I just think at the moment, it's very tricky. I think everyone's at different parts of their journey in life. I think every day everyone's having an awakening, but some people are just accelerating quicker with their awakening. And over the last year or two, my spiritual awakening has gone through the roof. Like, I'm a different person than I was, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people I've had to just let go with love, bro, because they're just not vibrating on my frequency. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your mate Pete, who you knew for 20 years ago. If they're not vibrating on the frequency, bro, it's just, yo, you're not in the tunnel vision at the moment, man. You're not in the vortex. But it's not a bad thing. It's not, like I said, I'm not up here hating, bro. It's not a bad thing. It's just like, I'm just smooth maneuvering with love, bro. Do you know what I mean?
So you started as a problem child because of whatever was going on in your family. And now you're at that point where you're tuning into yourself.
Big
and you're
time.
finding out who you are.
Big time.
How does that change feel?
Bruv, it feels absolutely amazing. Like, honestly, right, I don't ever do Facebook statuses, yeah? But after you came to my event the other week, like, a lot of leading up to it, the actual event, you know, you must have run an event before, how hard it is to actually run an event, the organising that goes into it and everything else. I was just, after coming through it all, after everything that happened to me leading up to it, I was just generally at such a thankful place in my life. I was peaceful. I was just like, oh my God, like I was strong enough to come through all of this shit, bruv. And, you know, still do what I'm doing, still smile, still be happy, still be a king, still be a family man, still love, bro. Still actually love. Because a lot, you know what I mean? I should have been in a mental institute, you know what I mean? I should have been in jail, bruv. No, I'm being real. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sitting up here trying to get sympathy. I'm just being honest with you. Like, so I thanked everyone around me who's helped me, because, like you said, Jesus had 12 disciples. But I did thank myself in this status, and I just said, listen, bro, do you know what I mean? I really, obviously no one is always at peace all the time, but I generally feel like I'm at a place in my life, bro, where like it's nothing to do with music, it's nothing to do with films or anything like that, or it's just I'm at peace with myself, bro. I get up every day, I look in the mirror, and I'm just like, I love you, bro. Do you know what I mean? That might sound like proper strange, but people have depression and shit. This is what you need to do. You need to be looking in the mirror every day and telling yourself you love yourself and be grateful for everything you've got, because there's a lot of people out there who ain't got. They even got roofs over their heads. Like, I was just in London, the amount of homeless people out there, the amount of homeless people, like, you know, man, I look at it and I just think, raw, how thankful am I? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm here. We're sitting here now with all these cameras and, do you know what I mean? We can sit in Spooks. Do you want a coffee? Like, bro, there's some people that cannot do that, so I'm thankful for everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, bro.
I think it's so important what you said there, because the important factor is find out who you are, understand who you are, know who you are, and then you can't let anything penetrate that wall that you build. So it doesn't matter what people say, like, it doesn't matter what people do, do you know what I mean? When you find out, you know, that you're in tune with yourself, that's the beginning of the journey.
It is.
The 20 years leading up to that wasn't the journey.
Nah, man, he was just like, you were sleeping.
And you have to be an artist or a creative mind to understand that.
Yes.
Like, other people go, yeah, I get it. You don't get it. But yeah, artists go through it, and, you know, but that's a discovery journey. Music versus football.
Do you know what, yeah? It's quite similar. Even when I was watching the programme last night, these Channel 5 little footballers, like, it's very competitive, bro. Like, ridiculously competitive. And if you have a bad day, like, you know, it's like in music, you have a bad day, like a week off, and you don't make a deadline or whatever, get the tune to the radio or whatever, your ship can be missed, bro. And it's the same in the football. Like, the little geezer, the little player last night, he had an injury. And this other little geezer was a defender, and he come in marking. So like this little kid has gone home like fucking hell, do you know what I mean? Like, yo, like dad, like I've injured this other kid's coming marking, and it's like the managers are like promoters, like, you know, we're gonna book you this week, you're on the starting lineup. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite similar in the sense, like in the way it's like patterned and structured, like, you know. So it's, yeah, I'd say it's very similar, it's very competitive. You got to be seriously good. So like with MCing, if you want to spit a raves or spit on tunes, and you know, like I suppose with hip hop now you ain't got to be that good, but the way I look at it, for me to respect an MC, you've got to be at a serious level, like a certain level. It's got to be flows, punches, you know, meties, all of that. It's got to be everything with me, and I think it's the same within football. For a footballer to really entertain me, because anyone can just tackle, anyone can just shoot, but if you can do the skills, the tackling, the flicking, the scissor kick, the this, the that, you're that guy who's an MC, who's an all-rounder. So, you know, when I was a footballer, I was an all-rounder. I could tackle, I could run, I could hair, I could do it all. And yeah, without being big-headed, I feel that I can do that shit with MCing, bruv. Like, I can do it all. Like, when you
So
listen
if I was to say, who's the best MC in the world?
It's obviously me, bro. Come on, like, there's not an MC.
I knew that was coming.
Listen, there is not an MC who does this, like, who actually does it.
Should we go for it, bar for bar? Me and you right now. I'll bury you, bro. I'll bury you.
Like, bro, you can't touch me, bro. You can't. Listen, I love you, bro, but you can't fuck with the spook dog, man. The spook
Really?
dog's like, yeah, I'm too gassed.
You think because I've been out there, you've seen it all. You don't realise people get dangerous when they're quiet.
No, I know.
Them.
But listen, yeah, on a real, like, when I say that, yeah, I don't mean it like that. What I mean is, yeah, I'm the best at what I do.
Artists are a certain personality, and music is kind of one of those things that basically defines who you are. Yeah. So, do you think music finds the artist, or did the artist find the music? In your case, what is it? Did the music find you, or did you find the music?
That's a good question, man. I think for everyone it's different, but for me personally, I think music found me. Mm-hmm. Music, like, it's like as soon as I stopped playing football, music was just like there. Like, I was introduced to drum and bass, like Skibadee, Trigger, Fearless, like all the goats, like in my head. Yeah, music found me directly after I stopped playing for Chelsea. So as I went into senior school, I was actually, introduced to drum and bass, which is what got me on my musical journey, like as an MC. I used to listen to Tupac and bits like that before, but me wanting to do it, yeah, man, when I stopped playing football, like literally before I stopped playing football, I didn't smoke, I didn't know anything about drugs, I didn't do anything. All I was doing was football. I know I was naughty, but I just was football. I knew to be fit and healthy, you weren't meant to smoke, that's all I knew. So I didn't, indulge or anything like that because I was playing footy, I was too focused on football.
How naughty were you? Did you ever, for example, burn your physics teacher's car or something? I know someone who did, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, man, we used to do horrendous things like, I don't know about burning a teacher's whip. Like, we didn't burn no whips. We egged a couple teachers' whips.
Okay.
You know, a couple teachers got like attacked with water and shit like that. It's not good. I'm not bigging it up. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like, you know, teachers used to get victimised differently, man. Like, not all the time. Some teachers had our respect. I'm not going to lie. Do you know what I mean? I loved a lot of my teachers. Big up Mr. Hampson, Mr. Maudlin. I love
enough of the bigging up. Do you want to cuss one of the teachers? Go for it.
Yeah, Mr. Karuna Ratner. Is that how I pronounce it? Yeah, Mr. Karuna Ratner used to always gun me, and you was my English teacher, and like you used to say I wasn't that good at English, and bro, like I'm a barbarian hype man, so like, are you mad? Like, so I would actually like to say, thank you for gunning me that much because it made me go harder. But you know, when you're a kid, you just think the world's against you, don't you? You just hate everyone. Like, you just think if anyone gives you any criticism or anything, you think he hates me. He don't like me. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's the world now.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I was like that for a long time.
Yeah, and it's amplified now through social media as well.
And it is, yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So after this, I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna say I hate you as well.
Yeah, of course. That's how it goes. Come on, standard.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe if we start a beef, we might actually get some attention.
Innit? A bit of drama, because people sort of like are drawn to, attracted to drama, aren't they?
It's
like
mad, isn't it?
more than love. People love drama. It is. I think what it is the program that we've all. It's like a spell that the world's been under. Like all the films, drama. On the news, drama.
Everything.
Fucking everything is directed like toward drama. So the people like, you know, people in general are are attached to drama. I'm not gonna lie, I was a lot of the time because it's the program. But once you clock the program,
But you know, I think like a lot of the movies that were made were pretty much warning us that all that's going on now was coming.
cool. So if you watch Demolition Man, like they had Arnold Schwarzenegger as the fucking. Arnold Schwarzenegger's the president. I know he was the mayor, but like, come on, bro. This was ages ago. And then they had in the fucking it's a film called Long Kiss Goodnight. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
I forget her name. Really good film. And in there they say, right, we're gonna blow up the towers and we're gonna blame the Muslims. And this shit was made in like the 90s, bro. And it's like,
Yeah,
what
it's
the
just
fuck?
crazy. It's
Are you
crazy.
mad? What it is I think it's called pre-programming. Forgive me if I got it wrong, but they put this shit out there. So when it actually happens in real life, you're just like, that's a minor,
Yeah.
because you've subliminally seen it, and you're just like, again, it's the programming. Like once I started finding out about programming and shit like that, yeah, man, my shit changed, my life changed, bro.
It's
Because you
all
see things what it
subliminal.
is. It is everything subliminal, bro. Everything's like symbolism and shit like that. Like you look at everything, bro. Like everything, like even like the fast food outlets, the McDonald's sign, they're all made in specific colours to make you get in and get out. Do you know what I mean? But when you go to a restaurant, they've got it all dim and calm, so they want you to stay in there longer. Do you know what I mean? And spend more money. But the fast food, you're meant to get in, get out with the colours, like the red. Come on, man. When you know, you know.
Let's move on to your meeting of Skibba.
Oh wow, love you, bro. Rest in peace. Come on. What? The first time I met him, or
How did you meet Skibadee?
yeah, the first time I met him was through. I'm sure it was Harry Shotter on Fun. Obviously, this is back in the day when the Unks was like popping. Skibba and yeah, I think Rough Stuff was there as well. He's the DJ. He's their DJ. Like drum. This is Unks. Is like a drum and bass. Was a drum and bass like outfit that sort of ran the game at one point, in my opinion. And anyways, Skibba was a part of that. He's come down to Margate, and it was like a. I used to do workshops. I used to teach children like lyrics and shit. Like I think you know what I mean. Harry Shotter does them, and I was there for that. And they've come down to perform, and obviously like you know, I'd met Harry Shotter, I'd met Fun, and Rough Stuff, so it was cool. But obviously Skibba to me was just like, especially at that point, do you know what I mean? It was just, still now it's just like such a big thing for me, bro. I was like, raw, well nervous and shit, and then he was just so cool and calm. Like I was expecting, I don't know, when you remember see on the mic, he's so gassed, bro, do you know what I mean? So you just expect this really gassed character, do you know what I mean? But it's not, it's the opposite. It's just like super calm, talks really talks really calm, do you know what I mean? He's just like got this like mad way about him that you just wouldn't expect, and it threw me off a bit. I was just like, raw, yes, bro, but he was calm anyway, and then we didn't say a lot, do you know what I mean? But it just blew me away how calm he was. And then, obviously years and years went past, and then obviously I started doing more raves. I must have bumped into him at raves or whatever. And then over the last, I think it was like 2017, 2016, maybe 18, he started like putting me on his birthday parties and shit like that, like really bringing man in. And then he'd done his 25 years of Skibba, which was the last actual performance I did for him, like where he booked me. And it's mad because my lucky number 7, my mucky number 7, and the 2 and the 5 is the 7. I said this to my missus Kim, big up Kim, the other day. She was like, no way. So yeah, that was the last thing I did for Skibba. And yeah, man, he done so many like noble things for me, bro. Do you know what I mean? Well, I'll always remember, like I said, man, he had a lot of time for me, bro. And I did a lot of good sets with him, bro. Like, you know, we even made a banger. It's unreleased. Obviously, will never come out. But yeah, me and him made a song together. Like, so yeah, man, I was close to him, man. I had so much love for the geezer, like, as a person, and you know, as an actual artist, obviously, of course, but as a person as well, man. The geezer was the most humblest guy. Like, and again, if there was anyone who's meant to have an ego, it should have been him. He was like the biggest, bro. For me, the biggest, best MC ever, like, from our country. For me, I know obviously everyone's got their goats, but for me, he's always been my goat. He'll always will be. And yeah, man, it's just such a sad loss, bro. But yeah, man, I'm just grateful for the time that I did get to spend with, man. Do you know what I mean?
I think anybody who either knows him on a personal level or as a artist or whatever, they feel the same.
Trust me, man.
Like,
the whole
they
world
all-
was rocked, bro.
When that happened, I had tears in my eyes. I had to message Harry Shelter and just express my feelings. And
100%, bro.
Like, I knew he was gonna hit Harry Shelter hard.
100%. That old SAS, like, it must have, like, because them men have been touring for years, it must have hurt them so much. Like, I was just thinking about my pain, but then, you know, you think about his kids, his dad, his mum. You just think, like, oh my God, like, bro, it was just a ridiculous, same as me, bro. I broke down. I didn't believe it. Someone rang me and it was like, yo, have you seen this, bro? And I was with my missus. I put it in my song. When I got the bad news, I remember it as clear as day. Was with the missus at the beach down at Minnis Bay. Do you know what I mean? That's what I put in my tribute to Skibber. Someone rang me and they was like, yo, like, have you seen this, bruv? I was like, as if, bruv, that's obviously someone taking a piss. You know, look, people do these disgusting things and they go, man has had an accident or man has passed or whoever it is, like celebrities or whatever, they make...
Someone like Skibber has done nothing but good.
Do you know what I mean? And then when I saw it, bro, I was just like, nah, I still didn't believe it. And then about half hour later, I saw on my timeline, Fun actually uploaded a picture of him and Skibber saying, oh my God, I can't believe this. And then as soon as I saw that, bruv, my whole heart just went bam, and I was with Kim, and I just broke down, bruv. I was just crying in the car, just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it, bro. Like, it took me ages for it to sink in. It took me so long. Like, when I come here and did the freestyle, the one take thing, that was, I remember directly 1 week after I found out. So I think I come here on a Saturday. I found out on the Sunday, the week before. So I was in two minds of even being like, bro, I'm not even prepared to even come and spray, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I sucked it up when I come. Do you know what I mean? I just come and like I did the thing. But I remember that time it was a dark week. That was a dark few weeks, man. Yeah, like, it was deep because I lost my nan a few months prior, and it was like the universe was testing me, bro. I was like, fuck. Like, you know, I know loss happens. Everyone's got to deal with loss. But Skibber was like a father figure to me. Like, he raised me. Like, we used to go follow him to raves every week. Like, we used to copy his lyrics, and like, he literally was like a father figure. Because like I said, my old man weren't about like that. We didn't look at him like he wasn't a father figure. He didn't look at him for guidance. He was just the geezer. You'd be like, all right, mate, lend me a fiver, mate. He weren't like a dad like that. But I'm not to say I knew Skibber when I was young, but we used to listen to him so much. He inspired our lives as people. So
that's what artists do.
That's what artists do.
Stars,
that's like
whatever.
a father figure to me. So
and that's the crazy thing. Like, nowadays, a lot of the kids are growing up with artists as their role models, not their parents.
Yes.
Crazy.
It is. And if the artist is sending out the wrong message, it can be some dangerous shit.
It is.
But like you said with Ski, it was all love, bro. Like, it was just all like, it was either gassed up in a rave or just love. I never heard him talking about no bullshit. Like, he wasn't a negative guy, bro.
Yeah.
He really wasn't. And that portrayed within his lyrics and shit. He wasn't a negative guy.
So what's the deepest conversation that you've had with Skibber?
Oh, bro. The deepest conversation I've had with Ski. Oh, bro, it's probably the whole, like, when the whole Red Alert thing stopped. Like, I was in a drum and bass, like an MC duo. Do you know what I mean? A few years back, like maybe 16 to 18, around them times. And when I say 16 to 18, I mean 2016 to 18. Yeah. And when that stopped, like, when I put a stop to it. I wrote it online, like, yo, like, fucking, I ain't doing this no more, blah, 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 blah. Skibber rang me, and we were on the phone for ages, bro. Like, I remember being on the phone for ages to the point I needed to go out, and but I went out, done what I had to do. We were still on the phone by the time I got back to my yard. He was one of them ones. And he was just explaining to me that, bro, this whole Red Alert thing you're doing, like, you need to, this is the ting, like, really is the ting. And he was sort of pleading with me in a way. He was sort of like, bro, please, whatever you've got going on here, like, whatever the beef is or whatever the fuck's going on, put it to the side and just please carry on, because this thing's about to fucking go. It's about to pop. And it really was. Like, we was on the cusp of, like, obviously, like, I'm doing my own thing now. Like, I'm blatantly onto something greater now. But at that time, it was like everyone was chatting about it. Do you know what I'm saying? So
you said a beef. What was going on?
Listen, man, to me, it's not a beef. It's nothing to me, innit? But I think to the other MC involved, it's like a huge thing. Like, for me, it was just like, bro, we're not getting along. Bye. cut ties. Like I said to you, man, energy's not working. That's the way I looked at it. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of things that like transpired. Like, but basically, at the end of the day, two people are on different frequencies, and I just had to cut the tie. That was it. Like, do you know what I mean? It was as simple as that. There was without going into like all the fucking shit.
So what was it? Egos?
I wouldn't even say it was the egos, bro. It was just
Different paths.
Yeah, different paths. It's just like one person's doing a lot of work, the other person's doing nothing, expecting half and half, and there's only so much that you can.
So I'm taking it, the other person was doing all the work and you weren't.
Of course, do you know what I'm saying? So like, obviously the other man, he had to say to me, Spooks, like, bro, I can't do this with you anymore, Spooks. And I was like, you know, okay, no worries. But that, nah, like on a real, bro, like I don't like bad mouthing anyone. Yeah. I let people go with love. I try not to hold grudges. Do you know what I mean? I really do. I think when you're holding a grudge, you're just bunning down yourself.
Yeah.
So the way I see it is, it was just, yeah, two people just blatantly grew apart, and it was unrepairable at the end of the day, bruv. And that was what the conversation was about. He was like, listen, bruv, please. And I had to tell him, and it was hard for me to tell Skibba this. No, you know what I mean? I had to tell him no, bro. Even when I come off the phone, I thought, shit, should I am I being too hasty here? But nah, I fucking weren't being too hasty, bro. I was right. Do you know what I mean? And then basically, a little while later, God rest Skibba's soul, he rang me. Or he sent me an inbox on a messenger, and he just sent me like he sent me like a picture, and he was just like, yo, I now know why. I now know why you had to stop this, bro. And yeah, that's what I say, man. But I love Skibba, man, like ridiculously. And that would have been the deepest conversation when he was trying to rekindle the red alert flame, because that's how much love he had for man. Like, he wanted man to succeed.
Yeah.
Both of us as MCs. He wanted us both to succeed.
Yeah.
He knew that it was that time at that point, and he was just sad to see it sort of, the flame burn out. Just
in one quick sentence, do you remember the feeling when you took the stage for the first time?
Oh, wow. Do you know what? That's a hard one, because when I took the stage for the first time, the room was empty, bro. So it's like, do you know what I mean? When you first start getting bookings in the game, like, it's dead. You're room 3, room 4, 2. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, it's hard. So like my first memories of bookings, like, they were just, in drum and bass, were just dead. But what I would say is my first memories of doing shows in my area, when it was jam, this was before I had any like sing-along lyrics, and I was just a little fucking 14-year-old on the end spitting with all the fucking 18-year-olds, you know what I mean? And that was amazing. That's when I was like, yo, like, I need to do this. Like, this is like, you know, when you feel the energy of other people, to me, bro, like, even my missus says, she says, Anne, you look the most happiest when you're on stage. Like, when you interacting with the crowd and all of that stuff. Like, it's literally, as you know, it's the most amazing feeling, bro. It's hard to even top it, any drug or anything. When you got the crowd singing your shit back to you, I don't give a shit who you are. You could, bro, it is the sickest. It's like the feeling a boxer probably would get when he's knocked a man out and he's sitting in the ring and he's like that, and everyone's like, ah. I can imagine that is how it would feel if I was a boxer. It'd be the same sort of, like, you know, if you was to compare the feelings, like, at levels. When you are touching that mic and you've got everyone singing the shit, and it's that frequency, you can't beat it, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You can't. It's ridiculous. It's just like a higher power, bro. It's just like, whoa. It's amazing.
One Xtra.
Wow, yeah. That was a long time ago, yeah. 05. I was on One Xtra, yeah.
How did you get that? Because at the time, you were just starting out.
Yeah, I was a baby, man. I was like, 18, 19. So at this time, I didn't really make songs. Or, like, you know, I was just spitting, like doing fucking, bedroom sets or whatever. Little parties and shit around the ends. And then I recorded a song, first tune ever, called it Quit Miracles. Imagine that, the song's called Quit Miracle. Like, what the fuck? That's how I know I'm meant for this shit, bro. And anyway, yeah, sent it into One Xtra. I didn't even send it. I think a geezer called Darren sent it. Big up Darren, who used to work at Pie Factory, he still does, I don't know. But I think he sent it randomly to the One Extra competition. Then I must have went in the studio the week later and I was like, yo, your tune's been picked. And then I was like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God. And then, you know, it won the competition, got a radio spin. They sent me a fucking vinyl. Big up One Extra for that. I still have that in my yard. And then they went, and then after that, I got an email saying, yo, do you want to come up and do that first ever MC sessions? Like, that was like, basically, yeah, it was the first ever MC sessions where they get like one DJ and then like 3 or 4 MCs and they go up there and just murk, do you know what I mean? And at the time, X-Man was the award winner. So he was on it, Dynamite MC was on it, and Jakes from Brizzy was on it. And there was just little old me. So we're sitting like here, like all the chairs and that, and they're talking, like asking everyone about their fucking journey and all of that. And I was so nervous, bro. I think when they asked me, I was just like, I didn't know what the fuck to say, bro. So I remember just thinking, fuck, why did I say that? Shit, why did I say that? Like really hurt, like really beating myself up. But then when the music come on, like I was just, the music come on, bro, I turned into a different guy, bro. I started spitting hard. And then like everyone in the room, like, I just felt the energy change toward me. I felt everyone look at me like, whoa. And like, yeah, I genuinely believe that before I actually MC, people were like, who the fuck is this guy? That's what I thought in my head. But after I started spitting, people were like, fucking hell, bruv. And I've had a really good relationship with X-Man like ever since, like, do you know what I mean? That One Extra thing is what got me known like around the country. I was only known like in Thanet until then.
You've also done stuff with Navigator.
I met Navi through Urban Dub, I think. Urban Dub's like a drum-based producer, like DJ. And I remember meeting him outside Hidden. So I don't know if they shut that down now, but it's a venue in London. And yeah, I remember I was going in to perform and he must have been coming out. And yeah, when I met Nav, it was just all vibes. And then since then, like we've made videos, songs, like mixtapes, all sorts of shit. I've got a banger coming out of him again. Like, yeah, so it's all good, man. Like, yeah, I've got a lot of love for Nav, man. Like, he's my Donny. Also, I got to drop this in as well. He got me into the celery juice. I don't know if you know what that is, but the celery juice is like celery juice, but it's like healing. It's healing for the body. Like when you drink it, it's absolutely like amazing for the body. Do you know what I mean? So big up Nav for that, man. Introduced me to the celery juice.
I'd love to get Navi in here one day. So
yeah, come on, man. Nav, come on, man. You got to come down here. The chairs are comfy, bro. Like, come on. It's nice down here. Like.
If you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
I feel like I could have done anything like I wanted to. Like anything that I was interested in, I think I could have done it. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Like I think something in sport, bruv. I'm a very athletic person, bruv. Like ridiculously athletic. Obviously, I'm not as athletic as I was when I was younger. Do you know what I mean? Like smoking and shit.
What about cooking? Because you talk about celery.
Bro, cooking, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, that's a good thing. I could have been a sick chef. Like anyone that knows me knows, like I can cook up a bit of a storm. Like I'm quite good. I've only got selected dishes and that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm a good cook, man. Like I think you cook with love, it comes out good, and I've got a lot of love. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel that I could have been a naughty chef, bro. Trust me, Chef Spook Dog.
I mean, you know what? I've met a lot of artists. I've met a lot of people, but not many people have the energy that you have, which is always
really?
Like, yeah, it's really good energy, bro. It's always positive.
Thank
It's always, do you know what I mean? So I can imagine that whatever you do, you're always gonna put that passion into, and you know, like you said, you could do anything you want to do.
Yeah, man, I really do. And I'm one of them people, like, I don't bother doing it unless I'm sort of passionate, do you know what I mean? Like, I really, because I have no interest. So if I have no interest, what's the point, do you know what I mean? But food, I love food. I'm a big foodie, do you know what I mean?
Based on the size of your body, it's not obvious.
It's because, do you know what it is? Because I eat well. Like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not air gunning anyone, but for me, I eat well. Like,
well, you know what? I think that was a slight dig at me,
bro. No, it won't,
look at the belly.
Come on.
Look at the belly. I think you're having a go at me there.
I'm not, honestly, bro, but listen, bro, if you want to lose some weight, I can hook you up, bro. Like, I will hook you up. Don't watch that.
Right, so in a couple of weeks' time, this is going to be 6-pack.
All because of the Spook Dog. Come to me for your personal training. Oh, big up my brother OCD. I'm not trying to jack your like clientele here, bro. Come on.
How many albums have you done?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I lost count.
Okay, so let me put another question to you. Forget how many albums you've done.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, you haven't achieved what you wanted to achieve, because we've had this conversation in private.
Yeah.
Do you not think that you're focusing too much on the quantity rather than the quality? And one album could have surpassed all the albums that you've done?
Do you know what? And like I said, going back to what you said, like we did speak about this, and I think, you know, when you're young, you do have it's like a massive ego, bruv. Like I think I just had a massive ego, and I'm just thinking, yeah, the more I put out, the more, do you know what I mean? But I think it would have been better to master the craft before I put out so much music, because I believe that the MC I am now is literally like, is not the MC that I was even 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And obviously I've been putting out music for ages. So I feel like the music I've been putting out within the last 2 years, like my last 2 albums, Corona Therapy 1 and 2, and my new album coming out, that is like the best ever shit, like for me. Like it's my best ever shit. And obviously I've shown it to close friends and family. And they've all said, like, listen, bro, this is just ridiculously a high level to anything else I've heard, like from you previously. So I do, yeah, I think that basically, yeah, I could have basically took some more time on the craft. Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit that. We make mistakes.
Do you think that part of the reason why you put out so much material is because you were too busy watching everyone else and not really yourself? You were competing.
Do you know what, bro? Again, I'm not afraid to admit it. Yeah, 100%. Like, I think when you're young, especially like when I was young, I didn't look at it like I looked at it now. Like I wasn't in, like I love music, but I wasn't enjoying it like I do now. I enjoy it to the point like I listen to my own album and cry my fucking eyes out, bro. Like I would never have thought that I could listen to my own album and cry my eyes out. Like that's when it blew me away. Like I'm on a different level now, bro. My music 5-10 years ago, I couldn't have cried to that shit.
If Spooker of today went back and spoke to Spooker of 15 years ago, what advice would you give yourself?
Do you know, I'll give myself loads, bro, but to cut it quick, one
piece of advice.
One piece of advice would be to meditate. And the reason that is because when you meditate, you talk to yourself, like your actual inner soul, your spirit, do you know what I mean? Your inner God. And I think once you speak to him or her, whoever it is, whatever way you want to look at it, that's when you get clarification on things. You can make decisions in a calm state. You can basically deal with life at a higher level, at a higher frequency. And I think a lot of people deal with life at such a low frequency because they're not meditating. As soon as I started meditating, my shit changed.
And so it comes back to that tuning into yourself.
Comes back to that tuning into yourself, bro.
Yeah. Blocking, like
what?
Let's talk about
blocking with birds and that. Or
no, bro. You ain't gonna have that problem. The birds will come for the hair, innit? It's like,
okay, yeah, go on.
Is there blocking in the drum and bass scene? Because we know the music industry, there's a lot of that goes on.
Yeah.
And many people don't want to admit to it.
I think in every industry, anything you do, you got fucking people blocking, ain't you? Do you know what I mean? Like everywhere. But of course, there's blocking. You know, I think with the scene, like drum and bass in particular, I feel like some person could get blocked for no reason, but some blocking might be for an actual reason. You might just be a cunt, bro. You might just be behaving like an idiot. Your frequency might be all off, and people might just be like, "Nah, man, that's not for me." Do you know what I'm saying?
But it goes on though. That's what I'm saying.
Of course, it goes on.
Okay,
yeah.
So how do you beat that?
By
just being good at what you do and getting acknowledged. But it's a long journey.
Yeah, I think you've got to be in it for the long journey, bro. You've got to be in it for the love, because I think if you can let a block, you know, stop your drive or stop you from being creative.
You shouldn't be.
You are not meant to be in this thing, bruv. You're not meant to, because you can have blocks that you don't even know about, bruv. You can have blocks that you know about, like, oh, fuck that, whatever is cool, I stay away from him or her, whatever.
You get to a point where they just can't.
That's the other thing that was bringing me to, you know, you put in so much work and you get to a place it's unblockable. Too many people love you, bruv. It's like that. Or you can just go and start your own rave. Start your own event.
Yeah.
Who can block that?
You've also had a little flirtation with movies.
Yes, I have.
So
you've
been in a film.
I have been.
And I only just found this out recently. So do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I was in a film. It was a long time ago now. I was a baby. Like, I must have been 20, 21 maybe. And the film was called Exodus. Big up Penny Walcock. Big up Lucy. She's the one who scouted me for it. And basically, the film is. It's like a reenactment of the biblical story of Moses. It's called Exodus, obviously. And yeah, man, I was one of the lead roles. I was Moses' brother. My name was Aaron in the film. And yeah, man, I nailed it. We went to Venice Film Festival. I got the standing ovation, all of that. Big up Dan Percival. He played Moses. I apologise, forgive me anyone I'm missing out, but it was just an amazing time, bruv. Like, I remember I was working at the time, I was like, right, you quit your job. I was like, right, is this how you're going on? So yeah, man, it's amazing, bro. I cried my eyes out the day I left. Like, on my last scene of the film, I had to be very emotional. And I think what they did, they purposely put that scene on my last day because I was ridiculously emotional. They're all coming into my room, like, giving me presents, Anthony, we love you, cuddling me, pictures, and I was thinking, fucking hell, I didn't know this was like this. And it's obviously, you know, you build a bond with people after 5-6 months, or however long I was on there. And yeah, it was just an amazing experience, bro, yeah.
So why didn't you pursue it?
Do you know what, bro? Again, I just feel like I didn't have the knowledge to do it. I didn't have, like,
Surely you pick up the knowledge as you go along.
Yeah, but like, where I was still like, and I still am now, I'm still like, I still love being a rave MC, bruv. I still bun down raves, you know what I mean?
But you didn't know that then.
But at 19, when I did the film, that's when I did the 1Xtra, so I was doing raves and shit.
Okay, so you were. Do
you know what I mean? So I was so stuck in, I was just thinking...
And you didn't think I could do them both?
Nah, well, I did, but I thought it would more fall into my lap.
Okay.
I thought, right, once I've done this, it's all going to fall into my lap. And
so basically naivety.
Naivety, bro. And I was young, I was a baby. Think of what your mind is like at 19. Like, how I am now. I was an immature dickhead. Like, I wouldn't say dickhead.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah.
I was immature. I'll give you that. I said, listen, at that age, I was so egotistical, bruv. I really was. My ego was through the roof. And anyone that knows me and knew me at that time would admit, yes, Spook, you was a hard work, bruv, at them times. I was. And I thought the world owed me something.
But isn't that really what being an artist is? It's like knowing who you are, being a little bit different to the average person, and just being extremely out there.
Yeah, no, I do. I do. I think that is obviously you've got to be confident. You do have to have an ego, of course. And having an ego is a good thing to a certain extent. But I think when you're just using your ego, bruv, and you're like, you know, you're being rude with it, basically. You're not being humble, bruv. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's an issue. You need to humble yourself. And that's just not me, that goes for everyone. I get on with humble people, bruv. People that are not humble, I notice your frequency, I notice your energy from early, and I can't give you that much of my energies if you're just being obnoxious around me, bro. But if you're being humble, that goes with anyone. Don't just mean music. That goes with anyone. I treat everyone the same if they're humble and they're being respectful. Do you know what I mean? But don't come at me with attitude and shit, because I will just walk away. Like, I've got no time for bullshit, basically. I'm on my journey, bruv. And my journey doesn't involve negative shit. Don't get me wrong, you have to deal with negative shit from time to time. That's when I need to, but if I don't need to talk to you, bruv, I don't need to talk to you.
And this film, it was done for Channel 4, right?
Yeah, Channel 4.
So it was 14. A big thing, it wasn't
it
was
a big £1 million film. Basically, in Margate, they've got Dreamland. They gutted out the whole of the Dreamland, obviously took out all the rides and shit, and built a whole shanty town, which was where all the poor people lived.
Right.
In the film.
Yeah.
You know, which is where I lived, which obviously where Moses ended up living, but yeah, man, bro. Like,
so for anybody who doesn't know, Moses used to live in Margate.
Trust me, bro. Like, he lived in like a mansion castle on the beach in Margate, but then he had to live in the ghetto with a man them. Like, it was a shock for him, to say the least. You know them ones.
Shame he couldn't lead everyone out of Margate, innit?
Innit? Do you know? Yeah, innit? Now, trust me, bro. Come on.
So at this point, I'm just getting this thing in my head, and I'm just gonna say it, man, because I don't really care, right? But you could have been a professional footballer and been a multimillionaire off the back of that many years ago.
Yeah.
You could have been a serious actor working with the likes of Channel 4, your Ashley Walters, all them kind of people, and you chose to be an MC. You fucking idiot.
Rob, listen, yeah, do you know what my answer to that would be? I would say, yeah, it's about perception, it's how you look at it, right? I'd say for a lot of years, yeah, I probably did have that in my head, like, fuck, why did I make this decision? Fuck, why did I make that decision? But now, where I'm at now, how peaceful I am as a person, how I feel, how I talk to people, how I interact with people, the way the universe opens up to me now, I believe and I trust the process, everything was meant to happen. Like, do you know what I mean? I wasn't meant to be a professional. I'd have never met my missus. I wouldn't have my son.
Yeah.
I'd be all over the gap. Like, I've never been able to deal with my trauma if I was super rich as a footballer. Same with the acting. If I would have been propelled into fucking the acting world at 20, 21, whatever age I was, my ego was too big. I couldn't have controlled myself. I would have never been able to keep the relationships that I've been able to keep. Like, who knows where I would have been? I could have... I believe that the universe has its plan for you, bro.
Yeah.
I really do.
I'm
and I think the universe's plan for me was for me to heal myself before I have the real success in my life. I think the real success in my life is going to happen from now.
How do you deal, like if you're getting blocked in a scene or some sort, how do you deal with that? How do you keep going when you just feel like everything's not going right? Because it's a long journey.
Yeah, man. It is a long journey. How do you deal with it? Bruv, it's upsetting. It's disheartening. You get upset. Do you know what I mean? You get in your feelings, bruv. You start questioning shit.
But do you honestly feel that it's blocking, or do you think it's just in your mind that this is going on?
Again, I think it's all different with different people. Some people are probably blocked because they deserve it. Some people are probably blocked because they're a bit too good at the moment. They need do you know what I mean? Some people, I don't know, bruv. I think it's all different for different people. But with me, if I've ever noticed any blocking from, aimed towards me, I've only been upset for a certain amount of time, then I've turned it into
a positive
power, yeah.
Okay.
Turn my pain into power. I've got a song I literally wrote the other day where I say I turn my pain into power. Do you know what I mean? And that is exactly what I do. And I advise anyone to do that. Any bullshit that ever you come across, there's a silver lining. You can flip it. It's meant to happen to you. You're meant to go through, whether it's a block or whatever. Yeah. You're meant to have it happen to you because you're learning from it. You got to flip it and come different.
Any final words? Anything you want to promote?
Yeah, obviously my album, bro, Spiritual Reality. We've not spoke about it at all, but basically my new album, it will be out on my website, verymucky.com. You get some merch on that as well. All my music is on there. And basically that is my next project. And basically Spiritual Reality is my whole life between the last year and a year and a half, all put into music. And this is why it's made me cry every time I listen to it, because it's the realest shit. It's the realest shit to me. And it's my best ever shit. So yeah, Spiritual Reality is literally, it's coming out in about a month. Not even that. I'm going to do a private album release party. So you're more than welcome to come along.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing if you can. Dope. So yeah, Spiritual Reality dropping soon, verymucky.com.
And in case you missed his performance on the 521 Live, you can go back and check that on the channel. That happened a few months ago and my man murdered it.
My lord.
All right. If you want to find out more about Spookasonic, please follow him on all his connection pages, linked in the description below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, click the bell to receive the notifications, like, share, and get involved in the comment section below. Until next time, stay safe, and thank you again for watching. Spooka. Bro.
My lord, come on, back. There. Bruv, I need a piss so bad, bruv. Can I go to the toilet? Yeah. I've been holding it, bruv.